Good evening, Monrovia. And welcome to our 2023 State of the City Address. It's so wonderful to see so many of you here this evening, and then also those of you who are accessing via live stream. Thank you for tuning in. For those at home, thank you for those of you that are in person. And each year, the Monrovia City Council uses our State of the City Address to reflect on our past achievements, highlight the work that we are undertaking, and share our vision for the future. As your elected leaders, we are hopeful and optimistic as we embark on 2023. Before we begin our program, I would like to invite, and I'm going to ask our city manager, Dylan Feek, to provide a invocation this evening. Mr. Feek.
Our Father in heaven, we're very grateful for this day. We're grateful we could be gathered together as a community of people who care and love this city and the people within it. Father, we're grateful for the many blessings that we have, the moisture we've received as of late. We're thankful for this beautiful town that we can call our home. Father, we pray this evening as we hear from our elected leaders that we will find joy and happiness in the goals and the sights that they've set for this community. Father, we pray that we can feel uplifted here tonight as we sit elbow to elbow with our neighbors and friends and our co-workers and those we love and we care about. And Father, above all, we pray most that we can feel further impassioned and joyful about the work we have to do to better our city, to improve the quality of life that so many residents and people can enjoy here within the beautiful city of Monrovia. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, and thank you, Mr. Feek. Okay, and now we will continue on with welcoming Monrovia Boy Scout Troop 66 and representatives from Girl Scout Troop 2851 and 1581 to present the flags of both the United States of America and State of California. Following the presentation, please remain standing. So, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, take it.
Color guard attention, audience please rise. Color guard, mark time march. Color guard, cross the colors. Post the colors. May I please call James Vieira to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Those not in uniform, place your right hand over your heart. Those in uniform, please salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Calling the God Peters to the stand.
Color guard 2. Color guard reform. Color guard retreat. Color guard dismissed, audience at ease. Thank you for having us tonight.
Don't get too comfortable. You need to remain standing. I'm sorry. Thank you, Scouts. And we will continue on then, and we are going to welcome up Courtney Spilker, a student from Center Stage and senior from Monrovia High School, to perform the national anthem. Courtney.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's
what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Courtney. It's amazing, our youth and how talented they are. So let's give another big hand to Courtney and our scouts. As we look around the room tonight, I want to thank you all for coming, and I want to acknowledge the many who are here, as well as those who are and will watch online. And let us recognize one another as each and every one of you contribute year in and year out to our, in big and small ways, to our exquisite and diverse fabric of our community and to the success of our community. So whether you are a resident, a business owner, a board or commissioner, a teacher, a representative from our local, county, state, or federal offices, either a current elected, a former elected, all of you are so important, and you are what make Monrovia what it is. You make us the all-American city, and I just want to thank you so much for being here. So I think we all need to give everyone here an applause. And I also want to acknowledge, without you, the City Council could not by itself. We couldn't achieve our goals without you. We need everyone in this community and those supporters surrounding our city. We need you to do everything to achieve all of our goals. So thank you very much for being here. I would also, though, like to specifically thank our city staff who assisted in bringing this event to us, as well as a big thanks and shout out to the community media, the Foothills, for their support in production and airing this event, as well as Look Cinemas for the wonderful accommodations, and of course that popcorn and all the goodies. Hope you're enjoying that. And finally, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my husband, Chris, my daughter, Sarah, who are here tonight, because without your love and support, I couldn't do any of this. So thank you very much. So, love you. Love you, sweet pea. So with that, sit back, enjoy your popcorn, enjoy the presentation of the 2023 State of the City address, and we will start off with our very own Mayor Pro Tem Larry Spicer.
Good evening, everyone. Little did we know that almost 3 years ago, the pandemic would test our resiliency as a city and community. It tested our ability to continue to provide excellent customer service and how to perform essential services while keeping our community and staff safe. Today, we are in many ways a city that persevered through the pandemic. We are stronger than we were before, because we modified how we do business to provide necessary services to serve our community in the most thoughtful way. For example, when faced with state and local emergency orders, the city offered temporary outdoor businesses operation permits so businesses would have additional options. In total, 58 businesses took advantage of its opportunity, and 20 businesses continue to operate with TOBO permits. We are also considered like library services, community services, planning and building as essential services in the way we consider police, fire, and public works as essential. Without our building division, we began virtual inspections to ensure project construction was not delayed. At the library, we hosted online reading programs and classes to ensure Monrovians were receiving library services even when the county would not let the buildings remain open. Businesses have never been busier than it is now. In 2020, our building division issued 958 permits for a total valuation of $62 million. That's amazing for a good year. However, during 2022, the division issued 1,551 permits for a total valuation of $219 million, the most in our history. As we march the road through the pandemic, we have set a record for new business license that opened over almost 3 years ago. Community development generated approximately 628 new business licenses. To highlight a few, we have the Hard House, Jumbo Juice, Taco Ensenada, and Extra Space Storage and adaptive reuse of the old GTE Verizon Frontier building that resulted in additional storefront opportunities in Old Town. We also have new businesses currently under construction: Town Place Suites by Marriott, Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's, and Dave's Hot Chicken. Now, some may think of Monrovia now as the new chicken capital of the world. We're also excited for the new In-N-Out at Huntington Oaks, which should begin construction this year. Additionally, our governmental agencies have made Monrovia their home, including the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District and the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments. One of the final notices the city received in 2022 came from the California Department of Housing and Community Development. They shared that Monrovia now has a fully housing element which guide our housing activities for the next 7 years. I am thankful to report, with a housing plan in place and over 2,000 new housing units entitled, we are well on our way to achieving state-mandated housing goals. The city continues to implement housing opportunities for Monrovians, which will work in hand with the housing element to provide opportunities for all segments of Monrovia's population. We understand there are concerns about traffic, water, electricity, emergency response, and much more. However, we will continue to be the careful and intentional city council that you elected us to be. The city also updated its safety element of the general plan, as well as adopted a new environmental justice element. 2 projects I hope you all will research for yourselves is a proposed bed and breakfast at 508 and 512 Ivy Avenue, the former homes of our late great city historian and treasurer, Steve Baker. Local firm Saxony Design Build, which specializes in historic restorations, plans to refurbish the 2 historic homes into bed and breakfast with 11 guest rooms, a small bungalow, a dining area for special events, and an area for small weddings. We believe that Steve would be proud to see that his homes are staying true to its history, but also contributing to the local economy in a special way. Additionally, we are studying the viability of relocating the historic Anderson House, one of Monrovia's oldest homes, to Recreation Park. This study is intended to help us find a way to preserve and protect the Anderson House for generations to come, as it is in dire need of a foundation and significant repairs. The state of our city economic vitality is impressive. We are smarter, we are growing, and we are thriving. It is truly framing a future for the generations to come. Thank you. Now, it's my honor to introduce Dr. Tamala Kelly.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm super excited to be in this place. This is my first time, our first address, so yay. Tonight I get the privilege of all right. I have some prayer warriors out there. Okay, I get to talk about environment. You can talk back. All right. With the state of California establishing itself as the leading state for clean energy standard and efficiency, Monrovia is always looking for ways to make environmentally sustainable upgrades in all the projects and services we implement in our city. It is our duty as stewards to create a better Monrovia for future generations. We can do that through the many projects and action that lead to a more sustainable future. In 2021, we approved a pilot project to install EV charging stations, including one in Old Town Monrovia. To celebrate the inauguration of the new charging station, the city offered 5 months of free charging. Awesome. From this, we've learned that local users consistently utilize the charging stations for 10 to 12 hours per day, roughly 80 to 85% of the available charging time. In total, the city provided enough energy to fill over 900 Chevy Bolt batteries. As we are finalizing plans to renovate public parking lots, the community center, and other projects across Old Town, Monrovia Designs will include infrastructure for EV chargers at each facility. From electric cars to electricity in our homes, we are looking to reduce our carbon impact even more. In November 2022, the City of Monrovia joined 32 cities and counties as a member of the Clean Power Alliance. Yes. To offer clean, renewable energy to Monrovia residents and businesses through a partnership with Southern California Edison. Our country's electricity is primarily generated by natural gas, nuclear energy, and coal, which produces carbon dioxide and air pollution. Joining the Clean Power Alliance means that our residents and businesses have the power of choice, the option to select renewable energy at competitive rates. What is clean energy? Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking again. Comes from resources that never run out and whose byproducts have minimal or no effect on the environment. Sun, wind, and hydropower are the main examples. CPA acquires clean energy and uses existing infrastructure with SCE to deliver clean power to you. Since you will have the power of choice, you can choose from the following options: Lean Power provides 40% clean power, which will on average save $1 for every 100 spent on electricity charges. Clean Power provides 50% clean power, and customers will not see a change in cost. If a customer decides to go with Green Power, that will provide 100% clean energy, and there will be on average of $3 more per $100 of electricity charges. If none of these options sound enticing, then you have a choice to opt out, and SCE will continue to serve as your electricity provider. Over the course of 2023, the City and Clean Power Alliance will educate residents about the different rate options, which will all become effective in early 2024. We want this to be an easy transition. This will make Monrovia a more environmentally healthy place to live, to work, and play. We will provide updates in the city manager's updates, during council meetings, at citywide events, and we also have a dedicated page on our city website. You may have heard a lot of city council members talk about SB 1383, the state's unfunded regulation that mandate new organic recycling services. All cities were required to adopt an ordinance mandating organic services for all, including a collection program, outreach and education, food recovery support, and more. Partnering with Athens Services, city staff have begun outreach and education campaigns to provide information on recycling, organics at home, how to recycle food scraps, organic waste. Recycling and food recovery programs will divert organic waste from landfills into green products like compost and energy. It's coming full circle. Locally, we have made great strides in sustainability and community building through the Monrovia Community Garden. Since July 2019, the Community Garden has provided an outlet for our residents to engage in shared community projects and to lead healthier lives. In 2022 alone, the Monrovia Community Garden diverted 7 tons of food waste, held 18 pop-up community gatherings, served 27 total households, including 6 new households, and welcomed over 170 volunteers working 394 hours. Let's give it up for the volunteers. You do know volunteers don't get paid, right? Okay, let's give it up for the volunteers. Online tutorials were provided and generated 8,637 online views. The Los Angeles County Sustainability Office highlighted our community garden program in their county-wide report. And we hope that other communities can follow suit and create space for this kind of local environmentally friendly and education impact. As for our water conservation efforts, I am proud to report that Monrovians are using 15% less water since we implemented a drought emergency in November 2021 and imposed excess water usage penalties. The city was a leading organization in our region and among the first to accept the call of action from the governor regarding the drought. Our program has resulted in over 450 million gallons of water saved through the combined efforts of our community. Give yourselves a hand for that. That's a big deal. This could not happen without your efforts, without your doing what you needed to do within your own lives and within your own homes. So we applaud you for that. With the revenue generated from the excess usage penalty, Monrovia is now doing more to further water conservation efforts. And this is how we're doing that. We are increasing rebates for residential turf replacement projects. We're adding benefits for the commercial turf replacement program, which will reduce water usage for non-functional turf and outdoor irrigation. We are adding water audit programs for those customers who have requested assistance in better understanding how they can conserve. And we're expanding the conservation device rebate program for businesses and residences to replace eligible devices and fixtures with water smart items. While we as a community look for ways to conserve water, we're also constantly looking for ways to help infiltrate stormwater runoff as it moves downstream. The cities of Arcadia, Bradbury, Duarte, Monrovia, and Sierra Madre have continued to work together to implement the RWMP by forming a joint powers authority. This commitment from all cities means we can do more together to advance several projects that will help us capture stormwater and comply with the MS4 permit. The Encanto Park Stormwater Capture Project is currently at 60% designed and anticipate being in construction by the fall of this year. We have also worked closely with LA County Public Works, Park and Recreation, and Flood Control Districts on further development of the Arcadia Regional Park Stormwater Capture Project and the Rio Hondo Ecosystem Restoration Project. Although we have had a few good rainstorms the past few months, California is still, say it with me, still in a drought, and we must do what we can do to conserve. Monrovia is a water-conscious community. The work we are doing now will change the way we use water for generations to come, both locally and regionally. We are proud of the progress we have made to make Monrovia more sustainable. Thank you. And now I would like to bring up our illustrious, amazing City Councilwoman, Gloria Crutchington.
Good evening. Aw, and I love you right back. Well, thank you, Tamla, for sharing our forward-thinking approach to addressing the environment and creating a stronger foundation for Monrovia's future. To me, there's no greater foundational work we've undertaken these past several years than Monrovia Renewal, the largest public works project in city history. Let me give you two numbers, 5 and 55. The Monrovia Renewal Project took 5 years to complete and cost $55 million. What an investment in our future. But let me be the first to share, we have bigger and better plans for the future. I saw Tom Adams here. Tom, we are committed to taking good care of our stuff. Our 5-year capital improvement program is 87 projects and $132 million. By using a community planning and fiscal management tool to identify the types of projects, timing and financing of needed improvements for streets, public buildings, parks, public infrastructure, and equipment, it helps frame and build a more sustainable and effective future. We're looking at things before they break and prolonging their lifetime in any way we can. Let's sit here for that. The city has always been challenged to maximize the effectiveness of our resources and workforce. And as a result, staff is continuously seeking grant funds to supplement the budget and fund major projects. Applying for grants can be a complex and competitive process, but I'm pleased to report that in the past 5 years, staff has successfully secured over $7 million in outside funding sources to supplement our day-to-day operations. I'd like to highlight some major projects the city is undertaking in 2023. The Bobcat Fire It burned over 278 acres of the Monrovia Hillside Wilderness Preserve and much of our beloved 80 acres of Monrovia Canyon Park. The city achieved over 96% reimbursement for this work. That is outstanding. And it means that Monrovia residents did not have to pay for the damage caused by the Bobcat fire. Just when we reopened our park to the public in August 2021, devastating mud and debris flows damaged Canyon Park twice, in December 2021 and 2022. Thankfully, due to the hard work of staff and our Canyon Park volunteers, the park will be open to the public soon as we finalize our construction plans and prepare to rebuild the park in summer 2023. And here tonight with us is our wonderful Congresswoman, Grace Napolitano, who has who did her job for us in Washington and earmarked $3 million for this project. So we'll just keep thanking her 3 million times. In our hearts, absolutely. Canyon Park will receive 24 more parking spaces, public art, picnic tables, a new enclosed kiosk, bench seating, and even an educational center, so the space can be as much a learning space as it is a recreational space. We know that Canyon Park teaches not just Monrovia children, but children in the inner city and across the San Gabriel Valley through being part of their science and learning about environmental issues right here in our Canyon Park. And they will all continue that education. Of course, the road, utilities, and other amenities will be replaced and provide us another 100 years of use and pleasure. In Old Town Monrovia, Library Park will be receiving significant upgrades. In December, we installed the Library Loo. Have you been there? With a beautiful design by Monrovia artist Dan Sipple. Dan, are you here tonight? Well, here or at home, it's gorgeous, and thank you. The city is finalizing construction drawings for the library enhancement project, which will create better synergy between the library building and the park it sits in, adding unique spaces for youth, an enclosed outdoor area, a larger space for families, and several decorative features like a gabion wall, new signage, benches, and much more. I had to Google gabion because I had no idea what that word was. It's Gabian, so Google it, not now, but Google it when you get home. Where am I? Another major project under design is the renovation of the Monrovia Community Center. We've entered into a contract to perform necessary work for planning and design, including a feasibility and concept design study. The city will hold public information and outreach sessions in 2023 with the goal of finalizing construction designs by the end of the year. We have committed to renovating the facility and ensuring that it meets your expectations for years to come. I am excited to see what we can do to this 20,000 square foot space that will meet the needs and the times of our community. The Lucinda Garcia Park renovation project is also near completion. The park has 2 new playgrounds with lighting, fencing, and picnic tables, 5 exercise fitness stations, 2 gardens, improved walkway with enhanced lighting, interpretive signage and history, and a bottle-fill drinking station. In Monrovia style, we are doing more to enhance our facilities so the community can get the most out of these improvement projects, but also to celebrate the diversity in our community. in partnership with the Monrovia's Art in Public Places program, a mural that conveys the story and distinguished history of the Hispanic community in Monrovia was commissioned to highlight Latino heritage in our community. We also love to celebrate Monrovians through public art pieces in various neighborhoods throughout the community. Last year, the Monrovia Historical Museum Foundation celebrated its 30th anniversary, highlighting its accomplishments over the past 3 decades. To demonstrate Monrovia's history of inclusion and diversity, the foundation collaborated with Monrovia Changemakers to install a cultural diversity exhibit titled Ideas, which stands for inclusivity, diversity, equality, awareness, and solutions. The exhibit displays Monrovians, both individuals and organizations, who fought against prejudice and segregation throughout the city's history. The exhibit features a timeline of civil rights actions in the United States and Monrovia. The permanent exhibit allows visitors to engage and learn more about Monrovia's work towards equity, inclusion, diversity, and human rights. And if you haven't already visited the museum, please go and enjoy this wonderful exhibit and relish in the wonderful diversity of our city. In the coming months, the museum building will receive a nice facelift with new paint and repairs to windows and stucco, ensuring the building looks splendid as it prepares for its centenarian birthday in 2025. Over the past year, we celebrated 2 Monrovians who made significant contributions to our community, Almira Romney and Josephine Anderson. Almira Romney believed that all children should be treated equally, regardless of their ethnicity. And as a teacher and then principal of Huntington Elementary, she fought for her students' educations and created an environment where students thrived academically and socially. Josephine Anderson founded the Foothill Unity Center over 40 years ago, and her efforts have impacted the lives of thousands of people in this community. Foothill Unity Center has become a major source of food, health services, and crisis assistance for all those who need them. I am proud to live in a community where we celebrate people like Almira and Josephine. Maya Angelou once, yes. Maya Angelou once said, "We all should know that diversity makes for a rich tapestry, and we must understand that all threads of the tapestry are equal in value, no matter what their color." And Monrovia is just that, a rich tapestry of diverse figures, past, present, and future, that weave together to make our gorgeous Monrovia community. Thank you. And now I'd like to bring up Sergio Jimenez.
That's all right, Gloria. That's okay.
Hello, Monrovia. Thank you, Gloria, so much for that wonderful presentation. If anybody can make infrastructure come alive, it's you. I want to give a shout out to the administrative services team that crunched the numbers for this section of our presentation. Finance, they did a wonderful job. Ray and Buffy, thank you. I know you're out there in the audience. I want to ask the audience, how many of you were good at math in school? Can you raise your hands? That's not many, that's not too many. But let me tell you, that's all right. Because whether math is your strong suit or not, I think after hearing the numbers tonight, you're going to agree that Monrovia's financial condition is strong. Strong financial management is the foundation of city government and operations. Comprehensive financial policies and practices provide the very structure for City Council to govern effectively for years to come. the City Council, our City Council, desires to be good stewards of public funds, and sound financial management is critical to the health of our city. I am proud to share an update on how we have advanced the city's reserves, addressed outstanding debts, and invested in community-wide infrastructure. Just last week, our independent auditors gave us an affirmative opinion that our financial house is in good order. Even better, our net position increased nearly $75 million in a single year. We are thriving. As we enter into the third quarter of fiscal year 2022-23, the city is in a strong financial place. We must constantly ensure timely and accurate financial reporting, full transparency and accountability, and absolute integrity in everything we do. As always, we will diligently monitor our budget and the city's financial position, especially in light of any changing economic environments. Managing pension costs remain a high priority for the city and is a discussion item at every budget workshop that we get together, discuss that issue. Over the years, the city has made significant progress in proactively managing rising pension costs, establishing a Section 115 trust, and identifying a revenue source to fund annual contributions to the Section 115 trust. CalPERS has reported that each of our pension plans exceed 100% funding after years of hard work. So let's give an applause again to our financial team. Earlier this month, the City Council adopted a Measure K financial policy, which outlines 7 policies related to our use of Measure K. A 0.75 cent sales tax for anything purchased here in Monrovia. Since the December storm event in 2021, which damaged our Canyon Park, the City Council decided to leave the money in reserve. We want to understand the full extent of not only the damage to Canyon Park, but the anticipated cost to repair it before further committing to a new spending plan or priorities. The city also anticipates future needs and proactively plans for future projects, such as replacing our Wellfield electrical project, $3.7 million, completing our library enhancement program, $2.5 million, beginning the design of future water treatment plant upgrades to further our water at $10.8 million, and repairing, again, Canyon Park, $11 million, which will certainly increase over time. In June of 2022, the bond rating agency Standard & Poor's upgraded the city's credit rating from AA to AA+, one of the highest possible ratings to achieve. Here's what they said, and I'm going to quote. This is from Standard & Poor's. The upgrades reflect our view of the city's financial resilience and trajectory through the COVID-19 pandemic, with available general fund increasing to what we consider a very strong 21% at fiscal year end 2021, supported by the city's well-integrated fiscal management practices and policies and growing and diverse economic base, unquote. You can visit our website to learn more about credit ratings and review additional financial documents. Since we have been entrusted to manage the city's finances, we want to be held accountable, to be transparent, and desire for the community to know we are currently financially secure. I wish to thank our new city treasurer, Janet Wall, for her commitment and contributions to our financial success. Janet, thank you. We have exciting projects on the drawing board that include renovations, improvements, and updating facilities and services supported by a current citywide budget of $165 million. Our general fund exceeds $55 million for essential governmental services, maintenance, and expanded community programs. We are underway with $35 million in capital improvement projects right now. We have the highest general fund reserve of $23.3 million in Monrovia's recent history.
All right.
The city has made significant improvements to the overall financial management operations, and I want to remind everyone that as we make decisions today, we're also thinking about Monrovia's future. We will continue to invest in our workforce, residents, the business community, and the overall infrastructure of the city without forgetting our award-winning programs and services. Yes, I'm talking about finances, but at the heart, it's to serve the people of Monrovia. We will continue to exercise this approach that will guide us through 2023. In summary, the state of Monrovia's finances is strong and our future is bright. Now I have the honor of welcoming back to the stage our great mayor, Becky Shevlin. Becky?
Sorry about that. Sergio was not the last. But I do want to take this opportunity to thank our council team, Larry, our Mayor Pro Tem, and Dr. Kelly, and Gloria Crudgington, and Sergio Jimenez. Thank you so very much for your great presentations. So as you've been hearing tonight, we work very, very, very hard and continue to build on the future of Monrovia. The vision and goals that we set each year truly define a roadmap to prepare us for future generations. We've discussed the city's economic vitality, shared our environmental efforts, community-wide enhancement projects, and funding that allows us to manage and execute all of these wonderful things. However, none of these things would be possible without the support and participation of our community, and that's you. Monrovia is a strong community with boundless opportunities, and in no way an exhaustive list. We'd be here all night. Let's look at the following. We offer many programs to our residents and business community geared towards strengthening our partnerships. One great example of this is the Monrovia Area Partnership, otherwise known as MAP. The MAP program, which has significantly evolved over the years and remains one of our greatest programs in the community that provides great education, resources, and tools to get more actively involved, for all of you to get more actively involved in the community. MAP Area Partnership held its first community meeting of 2023 last month. It actually was an evening and in-person event. Everyone was excited to have the opportunity to once again meet in person. And I enthusiastically, and when I say that, I truly, truly mean that. I enthusiastically invite all of you to attend the upcoming 13th Annual MAP Neighborhood Conference. And note that that means all neighborhoods. That's just not some. That's a MAP area, all of MAP areas, all of us. And invite all of you to participate in that conference scheduled for Saturday, April 29th, and to participate in the quarterly MAP meetings, a great way to learn about your community and learn more on how to get involved. And if you haven't been a part of the leadership academies, that is another great way to get involved in the community and understand what Monrovia is all about. As we strive to strengthen and grow our partnerships, the team that manages the MAP program is our very own Neighborhood and Business Services Division, who also oversees our code enforcement team. I am proud to share that in 2022, we became, are you ready for this? We became the first government agency in the state of California to be nationally accredited for code enforcement by the American Association of Code Enforcement, and at that, being only the 8th in the nation to be recognized. So I think that deserves applause. Maybe not the most exciting topic, but I mean, they deserve it. Our Code Enforcement Division provides Monrovia coverage 7 days a week and works to improve the appearance of our community, maintain standards of living, and provide for the public health, safety, and welfare of our community through the education of our residents, ensuring compliance with the city's codes and ordinances. To date, they currently have 868 cases closed, 648 cases open, 1,728 inspections completed, 7,963 bulky items reported, and 1,341 shopping carts reported, and 285 yard sale permits issued, and they are closing 26% more cases than they are opening them. So kudos to them. I'm trying to make this really exciting, but it's really important stuff. Additionally, we are working hand in hand with our neighboring cities to address the challenges of affordable housing, homelessness, and mental health. We can't do it alone, which these issues deeply affect all of our communities. Take the San Gabriel Valley Regional Housing Trust, consisting of 22 cities, of which we are one. It is exciting to know that since its inception in 2020, it has received nearly $60 million in funding to build affordable housing in the region, and has already awarded funding totaling $20 million towards the building of 637 units of housing, yay, and 440 units waiting upon their readiness to go forward. The only thing that's keeping us back on spending more of that money is the readiness of each one of those projects. And just so all of you know, there is no one source of funding. Many of these projects take like up to 10 plus sources of funding. It's very, very hard to fund these affordable housing projects. And and then as well as providing just over an additional $2.5 million for 3 sites of tiny home bridge housing with a total of 105 beds for individuals and families experiencing homelessness in the San Gabriel Valley. I know that our Congresswoman was there to visit one of those sites, and we thank you for your help as well. Through the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments, 31 cities, 2 county districts, and 3 water districts, we have also received funding for administering a family and advocate support service program focused on the whole household with a wraparound approach and addressing the needs of keeping individuals and families from falling into homelessness, as well as receiving funding for participation in high acuity and substance abuse disorder focused outreach and services program, providing outreach teams for persons experiencing homelessness. And hopefully soon, with the additional funding just made possible at the state level through California Senator Portantino, and the federal level through Congresswoman Judy Chu, Senators Dianne Feinstein and Alex Padilla, we hopefully will be able to take part in the COG's recently launched SGV CARE. It's a crisis assistance, response, and engagement pilot program providing alternative mobile crisis response teams to respond to and improve the outcomes of nonviolent mental health service calls. And so that's, even though we're not a member yet, that program really deserves applause. It will send clinicians and other support staff instead of the police to nonviolent mental health service calls. And last, but definitely not least, I wanted to also highlight our partnership with the Volunteer Center of the San Gabriel Valley and taking part in the annual Make a Difference Day in October, one of the best community events highlighting Monrovia partnerships, connections, and volunteers bringing assistance to our community and definitely making a difference. Also working closely with MAP, the Volunteer Center promotes and orchestrates this wonderful day of service and this service event with volunteers, vendors, and other partners working hard to provide and assist with bulky item drop-offs throughout the city, landscaping and home improvement projects, beautifying local parks in the community center, food sorting at Foothill Unity Center, and participation in a Red Ribbon project which helps unite the community to take a visible stand against alcohol, tobacco, and drugs. Be sure to join us this year on Saturday, October 28th, mark your calendars, to make a difference in our neighborhoods and community. So to Macy and her team, countless volunteers, community partners, and event planners, including my colleagues, Sergio and Larry, and I know former Mayor Tom Adams spent many years on that volunteer center board and may still be helping out. Thank you so very much for making a difference. So, in closing, there are so many additional wonderful things that we wish we had time to share with you, but our time is limited, and we've covered our economic development and environmental efforts, citywide projects and services, financial management, and all the wonderful things coming to Monrovia in 2023, or almost all of them. As members of this community, I want to thank you. It's so important for you to stay connected and participate in our citywide meetings and events. There are many ways to stay informed. Through the Monrovia Today and Activity Guide, and by all means, and then the city manager's update, visit our website and follow us on social media. And by all means, don't be afraid to ask me as your mayor and all of the members of our city council, because we are here to help and serve you. We are committed to provide a premier quality of life to our community, develop a strong business climate, remain financially sound, and aggressively pursue projects that will only enhance the viability of our community for generations to come. I am so very proud of the amazing work we're all doing to help drive Monrovia to the next level. I can confidently say that that the state of our city is strong and moving onward and upward to new heights. We all thank you for this opportunity tonight to address all of you and to provide the information, the tangible information about Monrovia's future. We hope you found it informative and maybe even a little entertaining. Thank you all for helping us to make a difference. Again, because of you, we can all make a difference. It takes a team, it takes a village, whatever you want to call it, but it takes all of us to work together to go forward. And I am so proud to be your mayor and to be a part of this team going forward in 2023. Thank you very much for joining us, and good night. Enjoy that popcorn and all the goodies.